Good morning and welcome to Augusta Fells Savage. Today we have with us Sharon Bernardi, the Director of Compliance from the state of Maryland. Well, welcome to Augusta Fells Savage here in Baltimore City Public Schools. I think we'd like to start out today if you could maybe go over a little bit about your personal background and tell us a little about yourself.
Great, well thank you, and I bring greetings on behalf of Comptroller Peter Francho. And I'm excited about being here because I am a native Baltimorean. I grew up maybe 15 minutes from where we are today, and I graduated from Western High School. Actually, I was at Western at the same time that our mayor, Stephanie Rollins Blake, was there. I left Baltimore to attend college in Washington, D.C., Trinity College, a Catholic women's college. I went from an all-girls high school to a women's college, and I majored in English there, graduated with honors, came back to Baltimore to attend the University of Maryland Law School, again at the same time that our mayor was in attendance at University of Maryland. And upon graduation, I began working with the state of Maryland Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation as an attorney. I went back to school while working, and I obtained a master's in business administration, and then transferred to the Maryland Comptroller's Office, where I worked as a hearing officer attorney for several years. I took a stint at the Office of Administrative Hearings as an administrative law judge, came back to the Maryland Comptroller's Office and managed the appeals section, and then promoted up to the Director of Compliance.
Excellent, excellent. Now, in that division, did you have an opportunity to work for former Governor Donald Schaefer?
Actually, I did. As I've worked for the last 3 comptrollers. Comptroller Louis Goldstein, who was comptroller for 39 years, one of the longest held offices, I think, in the country, public offices in the country. Then William Donald Schaefer, who visited Baltimore office very frequently because of his love for Baltimore City. And then he was defeated by Peter Francho. So I've worked for the last 3 comptrollers of Maryland.
Excellent. And we did have Ed Wykowski in. I think he was our 2nd or 3rd guest here in the conversation series. Can you maybe explain what it's like to work at the Comptroller's Office?
Sure. For me, I love the compliance division. Ed Wykowski, he works in the compliance division. He's assistant manager of our collections area. And as director, I'm responsible for all of the field auditors that we have. So revenue field auditors are in the Comptroller's Office. I have about 40 of those. We have personal income tax collectors and business tax collectors. I have a total of 350 employees who I'm directly responsible for. We also have an unclaimed property section where we're able to reunite owners of property, like safe deposit boxes or insurance proceeds that people didn't know were left to them, and we're able to reunite them with their owners. Last year we found $40 million that we were able to return to citizens of Maryland. So for me, in holding different positions I have been able to gain knowledge of all of the state taxes in Maryland that the comptroller administers. The sales tax that you have to pay when you buy your clothing at the store, withholding tax when you work your part-time job that the employer has to take from your paycheck, and the income taxes that you have to pay each year when you file your tax returns, but also the corporate income taxes that businesses have to pay, motor fuel tax, tobacco tax, alcohol tax. So I'm responsible for enforcing all of those and the collection of those. The ones that don't pay voluntarily, so we say we have the more difficult job. And of course personnel issues I'm responsible for those as well. I get to write regulations and bills for the General Assembly. I get to testify before the General Assembly. I get to represent the comptroller on different boards in the state of Maryland. I have to attend the Sundries Claims Board every year for the comptroller, and that's held at the local prisons when inmates are injured while they're working, and they're due some type of compensation for their injuries. I also serve serve on the State Employees Credit Union, and the Revenue Monitoring Committee for the state of Maryland, which is responsible for helping the governor and planning the budget throughout the year. So we have to look at the economic impact of different things that are happening around the world and how it may affect Maryland's economy, so that then he can change his budget to address those downfalls or deficits.
Well, the best way to sort of change a budget is to have a good concept of math. So now a quick word from the Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts Math Department.